Hi everyone, and thanks for tuning in again. For those of you that might be new to the channel, my name's Brett Wood and I'm a professional landscape photographer from Australia. And together with my partner Lisa, we specialise in landscape photography workshops to New Zealand and Australia. To learn more about that, you can just head to my website. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the new NiSi Filters JetMag magnetic ND filter system. Now I'm just going to pick this up here. This is it here. This system's been out for around 6 months now, so I guess it's not that new. I've had my system for about 6 months, so I thought I'd wait a while. I've been using the system for quite a while now before I make a video to talk about this system. So today, basically what I'm going to do is just run you through the JetMag system, explain a few of the the nuances of this system. We'll show you what's in the kit. Then I'm going to set it up on my camera here. I've got my Canon R5 with a 15 to 35 f2.8 lens, and we're getting towards sunset here now, so we'll finish off by putting the system onto the camera, and we'll take a couple of different landscape images using the different ND filters that are in the system. What I'll do, I'll open the kit up and I'll start to fit it to my camera. I'll explain to you what comes in this kit. I'll explain to you why I like it so much. First things first, we'll just talk about what actually comes in the kit. The kit obviously comes in a packaging in a box. This is the actual carry case here. It has a little carabiner clip on the end of it, which I actually find really handy. What I tend to do with this when I'm out in the field, you can clip that onto your belt, or I've actually got a little carabiner on my tripod here, and I tend to actually clip this onto my tripod so I can just hang the filter kit off my tripod when I'm out in the field shooting. This is the landscape kit. Now it's designed obviously for landscape photographers. I think there's 5 or 6 different kits available in the JetMag system, and they're really geared at landscape photographers, video and filmmakers, night photographers. They've even got some black mist filters which are very effective for cinematic type stuff. So there's a variance of different filters available. This is the landscape kit. So I'll walk you through what's in the kit and we'll put it on the camera. First things first, we get 4 different adapter rings. Now I'm not going to pull every adapter ring out of the box and show you all the different ones. I'll just explain to you what they do. Basically these adapter rings go onto your existing camera lens, and then the JetMag filters magnetically clip onto these adapter rings. So the 4 different size adapter rings are 67 millimeters, 72 millimeters, 77 millimeters, and 82 millimeters. So they're going to cover most of your lenses out there. Then we have this wonderful little bundle here. This is all the filters in a nice little bundle. Now, what's good about this, for me being a landscape photographer, I'm often out climbing over rocks. I'm in streams, I'm in waterfalls, I'm in the bush, and I find this, that's my whole filter kit right there. I find this super handy. If I don't want to even carry the carry case here, I can just take that, put it in my pocket, and that's all my filters right there. So here with the filters, you've got 2 end caps. Of course, they're magnetic. You have an end cap, one that goes on each end of the filters to protect them so they're not going to get scratched. That's the end cap on the other end. And then in the middle of that, we've got our filters. Let's talk about the filters and what filters come in this kit. Now, if we turn these filters sideways, I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to see that or not, but it's actually written on the end of each filter what the filter is. Okay guys, now there's one more point about the filters that I personally think is a real standout that I just wanted to mention before we start to talk you through the filters. These filters actually have a thing called full spectrum ND technology. I'm reading this off my phone because I'm not good at memorizing it. Full spectrum ND technology, and basically what that means is that you have got true to life color reproduction and absolutely zero color cast. So many different filters out there on the market will give you color cast, and they won't give you true to life accurate colours, these filters will. Just wanted to get that point across, because I've certainly noticed since I've been using the filter kit that there's absolutely no colour cast, and the colour representation is absolutely perfect. Okay, the filters in the kit. The first filter, of course, is our True Colour CPL, which is our circular polarizer. Then we have the ND8, or the 0.9. To me, I talk in stops, so that's a 3-stop ND filter. Then we have the ND64, or the 1.8. I talk in stops again, that's what I call it. That's the 6-stop filter. And then the ND1000, the 3.0, which is the 10-stop filter. So they're the 4 filters that are in the kit. I've got an 82 adapter ring for this lens. So I'm going to put the adapter ring on the lens, then I'll show you how the filters go on. Get my 82 adapter ring out here. This is the adapter ring, the 82 ring, and that essentially just screws straight onto my 15 to 35, like so. Okay, that's fixed on the lens. And then I can just go ahead and decide what filters I want to put on there. Let's say, for example, I just want to use a circular polarizer. I can just grab the polarizer and it just magnets straight on there, like so. I can then stack filters if I want. So for example, if I wanted to use the circular polarizer and then I wanted to put an ND filter on as well, this first one's the 3-stop ND, I can just take that off and stack that on in front of the polarizer. Now there's one more thing I want to talk about, which you probably would know if you've been following this system, and this is what makes this system completely different to some of the other magnetic systems out there, is that we can in fact lock these filters on. So when we're out shooting in the field, we can actually lock the filters onto the lens. If we have a really close look, I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to see this, but there's a little white mark on the adapter ring, and that is essentially just like lining up your camera lens when you put your camera lens on the camera. If you line up the little handles on the filters with that white mark on the, I'll just spin this other filter around. If we line those up with a little white mark, then they will be essentially locked on to the camera, like so. So we're not going to drop them, because I can tell you I'm good at dropping filters. They're now locked on. Both those filters are lined up to the little white dot. If I hang on to those filters, you can see they're not falling off. They're locked on. They will not come off. So that's an awesome point. Just one more thing I'll talk about, and then we'll just get down and we'll take a couple of shots and just show you what they do. The next thing I want to talk about is just the overall quality of the product. Now, as an operator of landscape photography tours, I get to see all the filters. We have, a couple of hundred clients a year. They bring all different sorts of filters on our workshops. I get to see all the different brands and all the pros and cons of all the different products out there on the market. I've always been a fan of the NiSi product, so I'm going to tell you the NiSi product's the best, but I really think it is. And particularly this kit, I think, stands out in terms of the actual quality of the filters and how they and how good the color representation is and how sharp and crisp the photos are. I think these are even better than the old NiSi sliding glass filters. Some of the other brands I've seen on the market work fine, but I haven't seen, even the magnetic systems, I haven't seen one that I think works as well as this, is as robust as this. The locking system is an absolute, I think that's the real standout of the kit. So I'm going to say, from what I've seen, this is the best magnetic filter system out there. I've been using it for about 6 months now, and honestly, I cannot fault the product. I think the overall quality, the build quality of the product is just second to none. Even the magnetic system, the way the magnets work, they're very strong. Even when the filters aren't locked, they're still very strong. Like you'd have to be doing well to knock those filters off. And they're 6 months old, so the magnets are still working really well. That's about it. The only other thing I will mention, at this point in time, NiSi does not have a magnetic graduated filter. Although, as I speak, only a couple of days ago, they have just brought out a new product that will actually go onto this system, a filter holder where you can slide in your old glass graduated filters and use those as well. I don't use graduated filters, so it doesn't matter to me. If the sky's too bright in my images, I normally just shoot for the highlights, or if I have a huge amount of dynamic range in my image, I normally just take 2 shots, and I'll take a darker shot for the sky and a lighter shot or a more exposed shot for the darker areas and blend them together. But I don't find I hardly ever have to do that. All right, let's get down to business. It's almost sunset here. We've got a few rock formations behind us. We'll go and find a composition. We'll set the camera up, and I'll take a shot with all 3 of the ND filters and also a shot with a circular polarizer, show you those images and exactly what they do. Okay guys, what I'm going to do now, I've got my camera set up here. I've got a nice little composition here with these little sandstone rocks leading out into the water. I'm going to take a variance of different shots, and what I'm going to do is going to edit these shots. I'll put them up on the screen at the end of the video so you can see, and I'll edit every shot identically. So I'll batch edit the images so they're all edited exactly the same way so we can get an idea of what the different filters are doing. At the moment, I'm going to take just a normal shot without any filters at all, and I'll expose all the images exactly the same. So I'll use my histogram on the screen, expose them all exactly the same. So to start with, I'll take a shot with no filters at all. I'll take that shot. And next, I'm going to take a shot just using the circular polarizer. I'm going to spin the circular polarizer around till it sort of goes right to its maximum polarization, which is about there. I'll take a shot there with the polarizer, and now I'm going to put on the 3-stop filter. We'll take a shot with a 3-stop filter. Actually, what I'm going to do, I just changed my mind. It's getting dark, so I'll start with a 10-stop filter first, and then the 6-stop, and then the 3-stop. Because if I wait too late for the 10-stop, it's going to be too dark, and my shot will be about 15 minutes long. So I'll start out with a 10-stop. I'll take a shot with that, then the 6-stop, then the 3-stop. Then I'll show you the images, and then we'll wrap the video up. So guys, one more thing I wanted to talk about. NiSi Filters Australia has recently brought out this new exposure app for calculating your long exposures. Now I'm going to put a link to this app down in the comments of this video. If you want to get a copy of it, you can. It's a fantastic app. It's got all the things you need to know here. You can dial in your base exposure at the top, and you know what filter you're going to use. For example, 6 stops. You put in your base exposure, and it's going to give you you know, down the bottom it's going to tell you how long you need to take your long exposure for. It's got heaps of little tips and tricks in there. There's a learning tab that goes through various things in there that tells you all about using ND filters. Really handy little app. So just thought I'd mention that one. I'll put a link in the description of this video if you want to get yourself a copy of this app. That's my 6-stop shot. Okay, we're down to our final shot now. We've just taken our 10-stop and our 6-stop image. We're down to our 3-stop. We've got f8, ISO 100 and 2-second shutter speed. Just going to wait for these waves to roll in a little bit here, and off we go. This one's a 2-second shot, and there's our image. Okay guys, there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about, and that is a question that lots and lots of people ask about ND filters, and that is, do these filters vignette? I can tell you that I've shot at 15mm with a couple of filters stacked, absolutely zero vignetting. Lisa's actually got a 14mm lens, and she's used hers with 14mm, and she's had no vignetting either. So confidently say you're not going to get any vignetting on your wide angle lens with these filters. I'm going to wrap the video up here now. I'm just going to say, if you've got any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you want to buy a set of the NiSi JetMag filters, I'll leave some links below. If you're in Australia or New Zealand, I'll put links to my own website. You can order through me. If you're in the USA, I'll put a discount code down below so that you can order direct from NiSi in the USA. That's pretty much about it. I hope that's answered any questions you might have had about the NiSi JetMag filter system. I'm going to just say my overall pros and cons of the kit. I can't say there's many cons, they're all pros as far as I'm concerned. This is the filter kit I've been wanting for a long time actually. I just like the compactness of it because I travel so much. I just like you've just got this little set of filters here in your hand. They do an amazing job as far as the filtration goes. Beautiful colour. And you don't lose any image sharpness either. So if you're thinking about buying one, you don't need to hesitate. You can get out and get yourself one of these kits. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep watching the channel for plenty more landscape photography vlogs coming up, and also the occasional photo editing video. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again in another video. Thanks for watching. I might just throw in a bonus image at the end here. I can't help myself. I'm going to get down really low here on these rocks and see what I can come up with.